tight.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Ross Patterson Revolution! Brought to you by BlackRifleCoffee.com. Come on, James. What are you drinking? What are you drinking? Huh?
Coffee, obviously.
Yeah?
Yeah, what?
God. Are they writing words on those cups now?
So it goes, you're at this level, it says almost, almost, and then ready to go at the bottom.
That is some basic white girl shit right there.
Oh, yes. Don't talk to me till I've had my coffee.
Where does one get?
But first, coffee.
Yeah. Where does one get that?
I got it in a big pack.
Doesn't come at Mom's Store USA or White Girls Inc.
Oh, BB&B?
Yeah.
BB&B.
I just assumed that there was a section for like basic white girl shit. I think there should be, where it's got Pinterest quotes and things like that on it.
I think there is. It's called Hobby Lobby.
Is it?
Yeah.
I've never seen cups with like personalized styrofoam cups with words on them. That says almost.
Yeah, you're not in the right section.
Gone. Yeah, no. I've never been there. Never been there. Probably will never go there. Mm-hmm. Got a weird question for you to start the show. Right before we came on air, I saw a really weird story.
Okay.
Kansas wants to eliminate daylight savings time.
I'm in.
I am too. Like, strangely enough, when I read it, I was like, yeah, fucking A, this makes sense.
I mean, there are still farmers in the world, and that's what it's for. But they can deal.
Well, it's for them, so they don't have to use electricity and all that shit. Like,
right.
So
they're still like around.
I think it would be more helpful to the farmers. It's more helpful to the farmers to have more sun, right?
Well, that's what the daylight savings is for. So you're saving the daylight.
Yeah, but you're actually
the
not.
Hours.
You're actually really not at the end of the day. It just starts earlier, so it's like, what's the fucking deal? Me personally, I like it that it's like light out till 8. Then it feels like nighttime at 8 where I'm like, all right, cool. I can get in the groove of shit. When it's dark at 5, I feel lazier. I feel like I want a big pot of chili at like 5:30 and I'm like, all right, cool. Right. Should I kick back now because it's 6:30 and I'm ready for sleep or what? Like, what do I do here this early in the day when it's this dark?
I'm good with it. Moms are good with it because you can put your kids to bed earlier and still have a life.
I was thinking about those countries where the sun, even Alaska's like this, I think, where the sun is up 24 hours a day or it's dark 24 hours a day. Mm-hmm. Now, I'd go dark 24 hours a day.
Sure.
I would not go sunny 24 hours a day. That's not something I would get down on. I've always wanted to go to Reykjavik for New Year's in Iceland.
Oh, yeah, dude.
Have you heard about Reykjavik?
Yes.
Everybody says it goes off and it is the ultimate New Year's Eve destination. I mean, obviously not for kids, but it's dark, so they party for like 7 days straight. And it's real, like absinthe, not the bullshit kind you're getting at your ABC store down the street. Mm-hmm. And it's just fucking MDMA and partying in chaos. Like,
I heard the guys down there are pretty aggressive.
Really?
They do this thing where they like snap in your face.
Uh-huh.
And that's like their, hey girl, kind of like trying to talk to you, like hollering at you.
Snapping in your face?
Yeah.
Huh.
So it's just like a really, blonde, blue-eyed.
Yeah.
Scandinavian type, Nordic type guy, just like
snapping in your face.
And that means like, hey, what's up?
There's so many hot women over there. I don't understand why you need to snap in somebody's face. Like, you could, it's fish in a fucking barrel over there. What do you care? What are you snapping in people's faces for?
Small town.
Is it?
Yeah, Reykjavik.
I've never been.
Yeah.
I hate the name drop, but I'm going to anyways. Jack Osborne was the one. He keeps saying go to Reykjavik. Mm-hmm. He's like, bro, it is the best. Let's get the fuck out of here and go to Reykjavik. Yeah. He said that like 3 times, and I'm like, man, how great is it? And he's like, you have no idea how great it is.
Natural mud spas where you like.
All of it. Yeah. Everybody's beautiful, thin. I don't know why. Yeah. I don't know what goes down in Reykjavik, but I'd like to go to New Year's there and check it out. Yeah. Really throw down, By yourself? Or yeah. Maybe you stay home this year.
Yeah.
Maybe let me check that out with my friends.
I taught you a new.
Yeah. I'm snapping people's faces. Hey.
Yes. It's like that.
Give me some wine.
Hey.
I want some wine.
Yep.
Yeah. That's, I'm down. I'm down for not having any more of this bullshit of let's go full year round.
Yeah.
Let's go the fall back, spring forward. I hate changing the clocks. I don't want to do that anymore. I'm done with that. There's always one that's fucked up for the entire year, and I just leave it for 6 months.
Right. It's usually you just add the hour.
Yeah.
You're like, oh, but that one's an hour.
Yeah. And it's usually in my car or on a microwave, where I'm just like, I'm not fucking going through that. I don't know where that manual is from that microwave I bought 8 years ago. Right. I'm not bothering with all of that shit to change the microwave clock. I'll wait 6 months. I'm good. Yeah. That's where I'm at in my life.
That's cool.
So when I saw that in Kansas, I was like, fuck, man, these guys are living in 2030 and the rest of us are, fucking cave people, essentially. Who did that? Somebody drew on a fucking wall, we're going to save an hour.
Farmers.
Oh, let's save an hour. I don't know that the farmers did it.
I think that's the deal.
You know what? I'm going to go on farmersonly.com today and find out.
Yeah. Because they all know.
Yeah. And you know what? You don't have to be lonely. I wonder if that's their new year on farmersonly.com. Like, hey, what are you doing tonight?
It's daylight.
Yeah. Hey, what are you doing tonight? We're getting the hour back. Let's fuck in a tractor. Fuck tough. In a tractor.
What's the fuck tough thing?
Song I wrote. I wrote a song called Fuck Tough. I don't know if it'll ever get made, but it probably will, actually.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Why not? You can just make it.
It's called Breathe Hard and Fuck Tough. Breathe Hard. It's an 80s power ballad in the style of Bon Jovi.
Yeah.
I love a little Jovi power ballad.
It's my life.
Yeah, kind of. More or less on the Young Gun side of things, not the mom side of things. Where it's my life. What a bunch of divorcees.
Never.
Yeah, a bunch of divorcees signing papers. Yeah, more of like
sing a lot.
Wanted, dead or alive, like that. Wanted, dead or yeah. You gotta breathe hard and fuck tough. Hold my hand, baby, fuck tough.
Yeah.
Watch you hold my hand, baby, fuck tough.
Yeah.
You can turn around and do some butt stuff. Like that's what I want a power ballad about just a guy who just wants to fuck tough, Just an old school gentleman who wants to breathe hard and fuck tough.
I get it.
Hold my hand, baby, fuck tough.
I have got the gist for sure.
Either way, I think that song, Fuck really Tough, needs to happen.
It's not really a complicated tune.
There's a lot of complicated medleys in it, though. Because there's a breakdown and then clap, like overhead claps, like stadium claps is what I call them. Mm-hmm. That's going to be in that song. I think it could become, I want to jinx it. It could become an anthem.
Right.
Stadiums. A lot of college football games.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. A lot of people are making songs just for that.
A lot of Chads and Brads,
They would love it.
Yeah. Squeeze my hand, baby, fuck too.
They would really love it.
And you'd have to start off with an opener of some sincere dedication. That's what they used to do, Remember those? Did you ever go to any of those concerts growing up, like Poison or Bon Jovi or any of that shit?
I have gone to a Scorpions concert.
All right, yeah. So you're getting in the ballpark of it, in the spirit of it, if you will.
Yeah, I think Rat.
A ballad usually breaks out in the middle of one of those shows, like after just a hard rocking fucking drum solo song, where just everybody's exhausted and it's just like, oh, this song, and then, it's a lot of that. Mm-hmm. This song goes out to everybody out there who's just trying to fuck tough tonight.
Oh, yeah.
I see you out there. Yeah, Springfield. It's for everybody in Springfield, Missouri who wants to fuck tough. And it's just, yeah.
Right.
Then the crowd erupts, Hey, when I was 19 years old in the back of my pickup, I don't know why that just turned into Springsteen. Maybe it's more of a Springsteen vibe.
Yeah, it's definitely.
Yeah. I was 18 years old in the back of my pickup. I used to pick up my lady from my father's house. And I used to take her hand walking down the driveway. And as her daddy was looking at me from the front porch, I would whisper in her ear, it's just you and me tonight in the back of this Chevrolet. And we're going to fuck tough tonight. Everybody, this is a little song I wrote called Fuck Tough. And then boom, you go into it,
Yeah. I like it. That made me really uncomfortable. It was like I couldn't.
Why couldn't you get into it?
Well, I couldn't wrap my head around what your impression was, which makes me very uncomfortable when I can't quite place.
It was going to be Jovi, and then it was like, man, the speeches. Now that as I was in it, speeches are more of like a Springsteen thing. Like he always he always gives a little speech before his song. A little,
I think it's specifically
a little inspiration.
Him, yeah. So, some of them have just a couple quick lines,
No.
Live faster, da da da, and here we go.
No, blah, blah, not blah. At all. And I'll tell you why. Watch his doc.
Not him. I'm saying other people.
Yeah, but this is what I'm saying of why I bled into Springsteen. Watch his doc on Netflix of his Broadway show. Mm-hmm. He tells a fucking full story and then goes into the songs.
Yeah.
I understand that, but when you watch it, a
couple times. I don't know if he went big speech.
He always goes speech.
He definitely had a little bit of a story before each.
I like the stories.
Yeah, yeah.
I like to know where the songs
Adele
came
does
from.
That too.
Yeah, I like hearing a story. What I don't like is when it's people that I know or like celebrities. Remember Chris Martin telling a story about writing one of the songs, and it was about Gwyneth Paltrow, and I was just like, motherfucker, I don't want to hear that shit. Yeah. And yes, I like Coldplay. I don't give a fuck what anybody says out there. I enjoy Coldplay. We know
you like Coldplay.
But I did not want to hear why this song was written about Gwyneth Paltrow, because now I like every time I hear that song, I'm like,
okay.
It's about fucking goopy jeans. I don't need to know that.
Does it fix you?
No, it's not.
Oh.
It's not. It's something else. Something else. I'm not going to ruin it for the listeners.
Got it.
Yeah.
Got it.
And I appreciate that, by the way. I appreciate it when an artist doesn't ruin it for me.
Yeah, that's true.
One of my favorite songs of all time is Allman Brothers' Midnight Rider.
Right.
He's never told the story. And he's dead. And he never told the story of why he wrote that song.
I like that.
And I used a couple lines of it in the opening of When Darkness Falls, He Doesn't Catch It, because it's one of my favorites of all time. And I like not knowing what that story is. Mm-hmm. So that way I have my own interpretation, and that's great. When you know, it's just like, oh, God damn it. Some of the stories are cool, but when they're not, then they live with you, and you're like, man, I fucking hate that song.
Yeah.
I hate that song. Speaking of music, by the way, I woke up to Weezer trending #1 on Twitter. I was like, did they die in a plane crash?
Yeah, what happened?
They dropped a new album of all covers. Yeah. You want to talk about going down the bare naked lady trail now? We're there. We're there. You want to guess what one of the cover songs was?
It's been. No.
Close.
What?
No Scrubs by TLC.
I bet it's good.
No, it's not. It's not good. I listened to it this morning. It's terrible. It's exactly what you like. If your dad and his buddies, like let's say they played in a garage band and then they got together and covered No Scrubs by Weezer.
Perfect. I totally picture it now.
Yeah. Yeah. That's what it's like. Yeah. And you're like, why did you do that?
Yeah.
Why? Play it. I tell you what, we can't do it on the video show for YouTube and iTunes. We can for the audio show. Put it at the end of this show. It's new. Just put no Scrubs. It's out, so you can.
Yeah.
No Scrubs by Weezer at the end of this, just so the audience has to suffer through what I suffered through this morning. There's a lot of dorky people out there who are just like, "This is great. This is great."
Well, that isn't Weezer. Was it Weezer the one that I said? The Weezer effect, basically, that they like used to be cool, and then they walked out one day. And they just saw a sea of moms. Is it Weezer?
I don't know.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Maybe they're just leaning into that now.
Maybe.
You know?
Maybe.
Where it's like, well, that's what we are. So
I mean,
let's just make
Bare Naked Ladies is doing kids music, so.
Yeah, and killing it.
Yeah. And by the way, I don't hate on that at all. Like even Weezer doing a cover, I don't enjoy it. But
their audience does.
Now, because they're all moms.
Yeah.
I wonder if that was a conscious decision.
I think so.
What a strange thing to do. Just an album of covers
it's just
by
such
Weezer.
A cop out, right? Hey guys, let's get together and not write music, not jam, not try and figure out some new stuff. Just play covers.
Yeah, let's see if we can pull up a track list here.
I guess that's the culture too. We don't want to see anything new. We just want remakes of all of
I
our
do.
old shit.
I want new shit. I'm listening to the same 2 songs at the gym. Somebody made a meme of it the other day, and it was perfect. They were like, well, it's like if you're working out, chances are you're listening to rap or rock. There's been a rock album in fucking 30 years, it feels like.
Right.
So it's kind of just rap right now, which is bullshit. But it's the same 2 songs. It's Travis Scott's Sicko Mode and fucking Sheck West, Mo Bamba. And that's it. And you're listening to those 2 songs, like working out, and you're like, fuck, is there anything new? The DJs, I feel like, are dead. You know, Avicii's dead.
Yeah.
Tiesto doesn't really put out new shit. Like
Swedish House retired.
Yeah. I heard they're coming back, but like, for even the DJs are not doing shit where you're just like, what the fuck is going on, man? It's all SoundCloud rappers. That's it. I guess because it's cheap. Let's look at this. Oh my God. Are you ready for this track list for Weezer?
Sure.
Doing all right over there, Japes?
I am.
You're having a little trouble with that mic.
Yeah.
Yeah. You all right?
Yeah, I'm fine.
Okay. A little tired?
A little tired. I just, yeah.
I need to get you into the game. Would you pound one of those H factors? You can pop it off while I read off this track list. You ready?
Okay.
That, by the way, if anybody's not drinking that fucking H Factor water, Jesus Christ, you want to talk about a real shot of life? Boy, that'll keep you humming for 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Great. All right, Africa. You're kid. Of course, it's Africa by Toto. I felt the rains down in Africa. Boy, everybody wants to rule the world. Everybody wants to. Sweet Dreams are made of these, obviously, Eurythmics. Take On Me. Aha, that's who they're covering on this album.
That's a tough one.
Take On Me. There you go. Pounded that H Factor.
That's how you have to do it.
Yep, boom, chuck it.
And it goes right to your brain.
Happy Together. Isn't that the fucking Partridge Family?
So happy together.
Paranoid.
Which one's that?
I know Paranoid by fucking Post Malone.
No, it
couldn't be that.
It couldn't
be that. Mr. Blue Sky, No Scrubs, Billie Jean, and Stand By Me. What the fuck is this?
Black Sabbath. Paranoid.
God,
what an eclectic group of songs.
Did they just go karaokeing one night and say, all right, cool, this is what
that's what it sounds like
48-year-old moms want to listen to?
That's what it sounds like.
Man, that's strange. What a weird way to start the day, you know?
Yeah, to have that be.
Fuck me. Let's get into some wild shit. Weezer, rest in peace. God,
how about that fucking movie you made me watch?
Hereditary.
How pissed was I at you?
Everybody, by the way, told us to watch that fucking movie.
Sorry, I didn't like it.
I didn't either. And
it did not go the direction, A, that I wanted it to, and then B, it had no direction.
No.
So it didn't go in any direction.
I wasn't a fan of it.
Ugh.
Homegirl was great, though. Toni Collette.
She's always good. I'm surprised that she would take on something where the ending was what it was.
It is.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
It came out a year ago. I think it was Blumhouse. Whatever Blumhouse wants to do, he does.
Oh, then no spoiler alert. But I'm surprised that she would take on an ending that was that. It's stupid.
It's Jason Blum and it's Blumhouse, and when he calls, you fucking do it. That's the rules in Hollywood. I did a movie for him, and he's fucking awesome. And yes, I would, whatever he said to do, I'd do it, no matter what the fucking script was. To be realsies with you. And our good buddy Clayton Crawford is shooting a Blumhouse show right now.
Okay.
For Hulu. A lot of people have been hitting me up saying, "Hey man, what's he up to? Hope he's doing well." Yeah, he's got a new show on Hulu. So. Can't keep the good down.
Killing it.
Can't keep the good down. We get some sponsors who pay for this whole shit to be on the air, James. It's a shocker. It's a shocker they still pay for it, but they do. First and foremost, blackriflecoffee.com. Man, did Black Rifle Coffee drop a bombshell last night?
What?
Bombshell. Everybody's been asking, the audience has been asking for them to make whoobies. Using the military, snuggle up. It's kind of like a giant sleeping bag, unzipped. Keeps you warm from anything. They made the dopest whoobies on the planet and dropped them at like midnight last night. Like a rapper. Like they dropped it like it was Kendrick Lamar. People went bug fuck last night. I don't know if they're sold out or not. I got one. I was up late, so I got one just in time. But because everybody asked, they're like, dude, don't you just get free shit? No, I pay for it because it's my friend's company. I'm not going to ask him for free
probably
shit.
Could, but that's not how you support your friends.
I 100% could. I have a fucking disc.
I know.
Like
I'm just
code
saying
for all
that's
this
not
shit.
how you support.
It's not how you support your friend's company. So no, I bought it just like everyone else. But it's fucking awesome. I mean, they really knocked it out of the park. They've been teasing this thing for a while, and same with a Whoopie hoodie, and I know that's in the works right now. I will say this because I was there 2 weeks ago. I saw the prototype for it, the Whoopie hoodie, amazing. But I did not see this Whoopie. So when it dropped at like midnight last night, I was like, oh no, greatest thing on the planet. These guys just keep doing it, man. If you're not a member of their Coffee Club of the Month program, get that because you get the exclusive email that says, hey man, we got new products, and then boom, you get them before everybody else. Because a lot of times on Instagram at STJames, you'll see us wearing shit where you're like, yo, man, that isn't available to the general public yet. It's not. Because a lot of these things are tests. So some of them actually never come out. OtterBox is one of them. I gave my parents 2 OtterBox cell phone cases for Black Rifle Coffee that are amazing, but I don't think they ever came out in public or whatever.
That's a bummer because I like those.
That's great.
Yeah, but they'll do something.
Well, phones are changing so much. I just think keeping all of those in stock and the shape and size of it, like even with this fucking thing, like I had to get a new case and it sucks and X, Y, and Z, blah, blah, blah. So they're just changing so much. You constantly have to keep ordering from them. And it's like, I get the gig. And then everybody's going, why not went for Android? Went up to the Samsung. I get the Google Pixel phone. Fuck off.
Right.
Fuck off.
Yeah.
Get an iPhone, get in the real world. Quit being a baby. Quit being a baby at Black Rifle Coffee. Just sign up for the subscription of the month club. Type in the promo code REVOLUTION for a one-time use of 20% off at blackriflecoffee.com. Next up, we got ghostbed.com/drinking bros. Best sleep of your life. Best sleep of your entire life. One of the deals ended, by the way.
What?
At ghostbed.com, they were giving like $300 off a mattress. I think it's down to $100 now. You got to get in on these fucking deals, man. Deals. They still got the bundle package though for $7.99 off. $200 off a Ghost Luxe mattress, which is pure sex, and the free pillows. Again, when I chant these deals in your face, go get them because eventually they go away. Some things are just too good to be true, but they held on to the 36-month no interest pay-as-you-go program so you can get a fucking mattress and not pay shit, just monthly, which is amazing. Some of the best products in the business over there. They've got new sheets over there. Their fucking cooling sheets are the greatest goddamn thing on the planet. Big fan of ghostbed.com/drinking bros. Go there. Get the sheets. Get the mattress. Get whatever's left of that deal. That $7.99 bundle package is amazing. What did I say? Bungle? We can bungle it if you want. You can bungle it if you want. Next up, we got StrikeForceEnergy.com.
Boom, 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 boom. Shabloinkers.
Strikeforce is at SHOT Show this week. Looked like they had a big turnout. They had a live show at the House of Blues in Mandalay Bay.
Did they?
They did. It was a huge party. There was like bands and all that other shit. They did it with Grill Your Ass Off, former sponsor. Yeah, you're wearing the t-shirt today?
I like that they went to Mandalay.
Yeah.
Take it back.
Well, I think they were looking for a concert venue, so the House of Blues is the House of Blues. Like, that still rocks, you know?
You still rock.
But it was packed. They were giving out free Strike Force to the crowd. Everybody loves it, man. Again, especially diet season. No carbs, sugars. Goes in every liquid available. So that crash in the afternoon, this is the shit you put in your drink. It's a tasty, tiny little 10 pouch. You can kick the can. You don't need the can. Lemon, original, grape, and orange. 10-pack, 40-pack, 750-milliliter bottle. Get on it. They ship everywhere in the entire world. Go to StrikeForceEnergy.com. Type in the promo code REVOLUTION for 20% off, and that's good every time. Around the world.
Around the world.
Yeah, give me a fucking new Daft Punk album, for Christ's sakes.
Right?
I'd be here for that shit.
Uh-huh.
Give me that. That last one, I played the shit out of that.
That's true.
It was a masterpiece, and won every fucking Grammy there was. I get down on that shit. Give me a new fucking something. Give me something music-wise that I can get down to.
Mm-hmm.
Anything. Fucking Vampire Weekend just put out two new songs today, too. It's just like, oh, God damn it. Just give me something I can jam to, man. Rock, rap, country. I don't give a fuck what it is. Give me something I can jam to. And then I'll head on over to straightrazors.com after I get off of iTunes.
Oh, that's a clean cut. Smooth. Are you rocking?
Yeah.
I like it. It sounds good.
Yeah, doesn't it?
Sounds good.
It really jumps around my brain.
When you keep it at a good level.
Whew, I feel like it is living inside my mind right now. I feel like there is around the world. StraightRazors.com's got the best razors for your face. It's not Gillette. You don't have to shave your pussy with it. Just go to straightrazors.com. Shave your man bush with it. This is the worst a man can get. You know, let's call the opposite of Gillette. Obviously, we named an episode "The Worst a Man Can Get."
Oh,
yeah. Fuck Gillette. I don't give a shit.
How bad can you get? Pretty bad. I bet.
I'm glad I'm going to be at the Super Bowl, so I don't have to watch that fucking commercial and just hear it at whatever party. You know.
Do you think they're going to play it?
I don't know now.
After all of this?
I
don't think so.
Who knows? Everybody was talking about it. That's kind of half the battle. Even with the Nike shit, it's half the battle. Either way, like, you know, a lot of people were heading over to straightrazors.com after that. So good for them, man.
Obviously.
Shave like a fucking real man. Go to straightrazors.com. They got the straight razors, safety razors, the whole shit. And that Smolder aftershave is the greatest goddamn thing on the planet. I love it. And I miss the mustache wax. The mustache is all gone. Go to straightrazors.com, type in the promo code REVOLUTION for 20% off. It was another gentleman I saw today at my child's school. Mm-hmm. Joe.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Does he have it or not have it anymore?
Gone. Yeah. So it's both of us.
He looks good with it. You guys both. You both can pull it off.
Pull off a good mustache. His was gone too. His was gone too, and we had a moment of silence. Like there was a moment where I looked at him.
Head. Yep.
No, but look as a gentleman to another gentleman.
Sure.
I looked at him. He looked at me.
Right.
And we both were like,
R.I.P.
Strange world. Yeah, strange world, isn't it?
Right. So. Without words, you guys just looked at each other. A little nod.
Yeah.
Kind of a bow of the head.
Yeah.
A slow closing of the eyes.
Yep.
And that was all you guys needed.
Yeah.
You didn't talk for the rest of the day.
And then when I was putting up clips for our Instagram page, by the way, we're on Instagram at Ross Patterson Revolution. I was putting up clips from last week when I had the mustache, and it made me a little sad.
It looked good.
Made me a little sad.
It looked good.
I can pull off a nice stash.
It takes you from Chad to Brad, if you would. Do you know what I mean? Like it takes that little bit of Chad edge from you.
Can we talk about coloring up facial hair? Because we watched one of our favorite shows, which no one likes except for us. I'm not going to say what it is because no one watches it but us, and I don't want to put anybody else in that category of like the Hereditary category where it's just like, oh, I watched that because you guys are fucking assholes. No, I think all the jokes are for us in that show.
We always say no one.
I'm not going to say
no one needs to watch it.
Yeah.
we say it's like, I don't think anyone else will like it. No. So we can say it.
Friends from college.
Yeah.
So we finished that up on Netflix.
Sorry.
Here's the thing that I noticed, and I notice this a lot, because I was dyeing my mustache black because of this blonde hair, which is still there, by the way. I'm just going to leave that. I think it's going to be a Swayze summer. I think it's going to be heavy on the Bodie tip. I'm gonna look for that wave. I'm going to be chasing that big wave all summer, I think. And hey, back off, War Child.
Right.
Seriously. And I think it's going to be a Bodie summer. I'm going to leave the blonde hair, shave the mustache, but I was dyeing it black because I lost that Steve Prefontaine bet on the Drinking Bros sports show that I host. Right. And I liked it dyed black. Mm-hmm. I just thought it looked cooler than my real facial hair color.
Okay, what is it? It's
like a lighter brown. Yeah, where it's just like, I don't like when it doesn't match your hair and or face. And last night we were watching this show, and the guy had like a full beard that was red, but he had dyed his hair all black.
Yeah,
it was Billy Eichner. What's his show? The fucking Man on the Street, or I've always hated it.
Screams at you.
I've always hated that show.
People love.
I fucking hate him on Twitter too. I would probably hate him as a person in real life. I don't know him.
I think so. I think he has to, in this show, try really hard to be not annoying. Yeah. And I can tell.
Yeah.
I can tell that he's trying really hard.
Anyways, there was a scene in this where he's getting married and he's got a red beard and jet black hair. And I'm like, man, why not dye both? But there's some gray in it and it's hard. Like, you can't, but I think you don't. Let me ask you this. So as a woman, what do women prefer for any dude out there listening, right? Mm-hmm. You might have some grays in their hair. And they got to dye, they got to color up. Do you go both same color, head and beard, or do you let your natural beard grow in? Because that always looks weird to me.
Well,
when it's not the same color.
I've always told you, though, women don't always love the color up.
Yeah, okay.
So it would have to be 50-50. So for me, I love a little salt and pepper on the side. That's me. If you need to, there's actually colors like coloring up that is, I think it's like a light color or something where you leave the sides a little bit, but you color the top so it's not all. I forget what it is, but it's like a lighter brush through of color kind of thing where the grays sort of come through, but not so bright. And then I don't think we like a different color beard. So if you've got some gray in the hair, gray needs to be in the beard a little bit. Okay. Which looks good too.
All right.
But my celebrity chef crush, Scott Conant.
Yeah, big fan of his?
I never know how to say his name.
Okay.
I just call him Scott.
So yeah, you guys are on a first name basis.
He's on Chopped. On Chopped. You guys know who I'm talking about.
Okay.
You've probably seen him, but he's got a little bit of a reddish.
His stitch?
He's got a little bit of a reddish beard and then dark brown hair.
Huh.
And I don't mind it. Maybe it's just I didn't like Eichner.
What's his name?
Scott, Conant. Conant.
Ooh, is he married?
Yes.
He is.
Yeah.
Who is it?
Who's the wife? No, just somebody normal.
Okay.
Who's not on anything. But he's got Chop Judge.
Black hair. He's got black hair in some of these pictures here.
Right, and then the red beard, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
But I like it on him. I don't know.
Oh, you do? You fucking loser. I'm looking at this guy right now.
Yeah.
This is the exact same color as the guy on the show last night.
Okay, then maybe it's just a case by case.
I just had a whole conversation with you. You just broke it down and then you lied to my face and the audience face.
It's a case by case.
Really? This is the guy
you've got a crush on? It doesn't bother me. He's just my chef crush.
Oh, gotcha.
I have a crush in every aspect.
I know who this guy is. All right. I think his shit is all right.
What do you mean his shit? Like how he looks, right?
He's a cooler.
Does it bother you?
He's a cooler guy than to me. I look at chefs, and it's just since I'm married to you, obviously. Right. I would never watch any of this fucking shit in real life.
No, and I don't think you like it now. It's just on in the background.
I can tolerate it over Bravo. I can tolerate it.
Sure.
So when I look at these chefs, I can look at the ones who I'm like, that guy's a fucking cocksucker.
Totally.
And this one isn't. This guy I know, I don't think he doesn't seem like a dick. Whereas Flay, it's still Flay Day.
Flay is such a dick.
A dick. Just a fucking asshole where you're like, there's that look in his eyes where he's just like.
I'm surprised there's not a Me Too with him.
Right?
Really, really surprised.
Yeah.
Clearly, all of the women that he's Me Too'd on that cooking channel, like, don't want to. He's still the god there. So they're not going to like go against him, but I know he's got some. Come on.
Yeah.
It's Flay.
This guy kind of looks like Brett Ratner. If you're at home and you don't know who this guy is, this Scott Conant. That's a weird last name.
He's Jared Fat, by the way, too. Do you know what I mean? Where you're like
my friend Jared.
Yeah, Jared Taylor Fat.
I thought you just threw back like a Jared from
Oh
Subway.
my god,
like,
we don't talk about him anymore.
Jesus, Jessie.
No, I don't use him as a reference.
I was like, man, you just throw a fucking Subway reference of Jared out?
No,
man, you should probably preface that for the audience. One of my best friends,
Jared Taylor Fat, in that he's not fat,
right?
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. No, he looks good. Look.
Right, he's 90s
a thin
fat.
chef is fucking weird. You know, they're not good. Flay's the only one who keeps in shape.
He does, but his food is not comforting.
No.
He does like a twist.
No.
A twist on whatever, and then doesn't put all the good stuff in it, like butter and cheese. Hello?
Somebody who listens to the show is working on what's the supermarket one where they got to run around and
grocery
cook food?
games,
yeah,
guys,
with
grocery games.
And they work with Fury.
No. Yeah. Did they get a pic with him?
That's what I said. I said, hey, did you get a pic with him?
Did they tell him how much I love him?
It was a crew member from another movie that I'd worked on who had said, hey, man, I'm on this fucking thing. And I was like, holy shit, how is he? And he's like, dude, he's rad.
Amazing.
Yeah.
I know he's amazing.
I don't. I've heard bad stories about him.
You have not heard one bad story about Fieri. No,
I've heard
haven't.
A really detailed, fucked up story from him. And
no, he's
look,
an angel.
It could have been this one thing. Who
he's
knows? Everybody's got a bad
angel.
day and all that shit. But this guy works with him every day. So if you work with somebody that many hours out of the day on a production schedule, you'll know if they're a fucking asshole or not. So I would tend to lean more towards Homeboy.
Listen, if you met me today for the first time,
yeah.
Because I'm just having an off day, right? If you met me today on this set, you would think I was a bitch. Do you know what I'm saying? Like all days are different.
Yeah.
And every single person is entitled to a bad day, right?
They are, yeah.
No?
I guess they are, you know. Whatever.
Fieri is an angel sent from heaven.
I look.
He is a blonde hair.
I know. Look, and he's the mayor, obviously, of Flavortown, and I get it. I want to have him on the show. I really want to have Fury on the show.
We would love to.
And I think it'd be amazing. And by the way, I try not to shit on guests. I just got pitched a guest yesterday because we're going to the Super Bowl next week for Drinking Bros. We're doing a bunch of athletes, interviews, and hopefully Post Malone. And there was someone that was pitched to me that I was like, oh.
Are you naming names or are you going to stay?
I'm debating because he's murdered people. And.
What?
Yeah.
Convicted?
No, he got off. Oh, fuck it. I'll say it. It's Ray Lewis. He killed 2 people in Atlanta. Ironically, during the Super Bowl there.
How did he get off if he did do it?
He said he was in the back of this limo and that his buddies did it in this limo, but.
And you don't believe that?
No one does.
Okay.
And so some other people went down for it, and there was a bunch of eyewitnesses and shit, and like said you got the wrong black man, that type of deal. And you know, it's widely known that he was a double murder. And
would you have OJ on?
Yes, but that's for different reasons. You know, I feel like I could joke around with OJ, whereas I don't feel like I could joke around with Ray Lewis
because you're scared he'll kill you.
Yes. In real life, Ray Lewis is still a beast. Like I saw him the other day, what was it, 3 weeks ago when the Ravens were in the playoffs and he came out onto the field still. And it was like, oh, Jesus Christ. All of us as dudes were like, Jesus Christ, he looks like he could still play and kill people out there. Like,
right.
That big of a dude where you're just like, man. And I think during an interview, just to slip that in of like, hey man, so we're back in Atlanta. Feel weird?
Yeah, maybe you shouldn't interview him. I'd say that's a no.
No, but
you can't handle yourself.
Here's the other side of that coin is he's one of the most
stupid.
interesting men there is on the planet. Like, he's a motivational speaker, and he was before the murders. And there's another part of me too that would love just to rap with him about like, dude, if somebody popped off, try to come after you and then you fucking murder, like, yeah, I don't really give a shit about that. I wish I could tell him that. Like, hey, describe the situation that happened with these guys.
Because I'm on your side. Is that how you would start?
Exactly.
I'm on your side.
I'm on your side. Like, I'll wait to hear what the murder
really
is.
Quick.
But I don't think on the other, he doesn't seem like a guy that would be looking to murder somebody. It looked like if somebody was coming at him, it's like, hey, all right, I got a murder tonight. You know what I'm saying?
Uh-huh.
And I think I could side with that. I don't think, however, that this conversation could go down on here. No,
and we'll talk about it off air. But that is not going to happen. Just judging by the practice questions that you're throwing out.
No. I don't think I would say it. And here's why I bring it up too. Here's the other part why I bring it up is Mike Tyson was on Joe Rogan the other day.
Right.
And I listened to that on the flight back from Kansas City. And Joe Rogan stayed away from hey man, you went to prison for convicted of rape for 5 years.
Mm-hmm.
Like, he stayed away from that as well,
right.
Where it was just like, there's still a part of you as an interviewer where you're like, all right, you want to ask the tough questions, but you also are afraid that this guy could get up and just kick the shit out of you. And there's not many people like that on the planet that I feel like that.
Right.
Genuinely. In real life, like, not many people at all. And the people that I do are like one of my friends, and that's about it. A couple of my friends, that's about it tops.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's just like your average Joe at a fucking bar. I'm pretty confident I could kick the shit out of. But Ray Lewis, I could not. Mike Tyson, probably not. Like,
right.
Because there's even Joe Rogan, for as skilled as he is, what is he, like 5 black belts and like all kinds of, I mean, he's really, really up there.
Take you down
he walks the walk of all of that shit.
Yes.
I still think, even listening to the interview, there was still a part of him where like Mike Tyson could just get up and knock me into the middle of next week.
Yeah. And I think he's pretty open about that kind of stuff.
I met him. You were with me, I think.
You met,
Mike Tyson. Yeah. I met Tyson. And to me, he just seemed high and gentle, where it was just like, man, this guy's not a threat,
Yeah. But he is. So that's the scary part of it, right?
I know.
When you know people can kill you, but they're very gentle.
Yeah.
That's when I get scared.
Yeah. And
because it's that turn that I always think of, like, how you either meet somebody or see someone like reformed, whatever, and you're like, I wonder what it's like to see them switch. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
And that's the scary part of it.
Yeah. And, again, I met Mike Tyson, but I wouldn't ask him that to his face. Same with, I haven't met Ray Lewis, but like, I wouldn't ask him any of that shit to his face, but I wish I could.
Right.
Because I would be on his side on this one of like, hey, man, if you just tell me what the story is, chances are I know you weren't looking to murder somebody. You were already rich and famous and had the world, Right. You probably had to murder because somebody came after you. I think I'd probably be on his side and bro out with him.
Yeah.
But I can't, and he'll never say anything. So it is what it is. But yeah, I am fascinated with that, with how somebody can switch like that. Speaking of which, that new Ted Bundy doc drops tonight on Netflix. And they were playing clips of that. You want to talk about somebody switching? Holy shit. So they've got these interviews. Are they from prison? Is that where they were?
Must be, yeah.
That they've never played before. And they played a segment on some show I was watching last night of some of the tapes that they were going to play on the Netflix series. Holy shit. Not only is this guy really intelligent, but, I mean, there's a huge but. He only talked about himself in the third person. What?
He is crazy.
I love that about people.
Right.
I love when people talk in the third person, like Rick
when
Anderson.
They've also killed, it adds another layer. When you talk about yourself in the third person and you kill a bunch of people, and, he was famously super good looking. Women loved him.
Yeah.
He was the guy that like you would not even think. He represented himself in court. Didn't get a lawyer. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Just like a narcissist to the nth.
That's great.
Is that great?
Yeah. Were you a fan? Well, you love serial killers. Were you a fan of Bundy? What was your story with him? Because like behind
Bundy
you,
didn't get.
You seem shocked by that. Behind you, you have all serial killers behind you. Yeah,
I do, but they have to be. It has to be more interesting than I'm good looking and I just tricked girls.
But he murdered how many people?
A bunch.
30, 40?
Yeah.
And I heard there's another, they said on this show that I was watching last night, there's probably another 24 that they don't know if he did or not, but they assume. Mm-hmm. So are you amped about this?
I am.
Okay, you are.
Definitely.
Because he's not on your wall behind you.
He's not on my wall because he's not my top.
Okay.
As far as like being interested in the hows and whys. He's just pretty clear cut narcissist, like just, out there. Duped people because he was very good looking, very charming.
Right.
And was able to con people into doing whatever he wanted them to do and then killing them. So to me, that he seems very cut and dry. Whereas like BTK and like Dahmer, there's just weird turmoil, how they got into it. BTK having like a normal life and family and being, in the church and then doing these things outside of that, not getting caught, wanting to get caught, all of these things that are different than just a straight up murderer who got away with it because he was just really good looking and smart.
Yeah.
And that's the missing piece, is if you're really good looking, charming, and smart, you can get away with a lot of shit.
Yeah, you are. I did a movie about these serial killers up in Canada they ended up calling it Carla. It was the Barbie and Ken killers. Mm-hmm. Carla Homlicka was her name. And same thing. Both of them were good looking. The husband was good looking, super charming. Mm-hmm. And they didn't know nobody thought that this guy could possibly murder these women. He was getting help from his wife, all that shit. It was I did it with Laura Prepon. Weird movie. I got cut out of it because the director got fired mid-shoot. Mm-hmm. He was way over budget and really strange. Movie didn't turn out to be. Didn't turn out well. Lifetime bought it, so you're welcome. You're welcome. It did well in Canada, but it was the same thing where I did a lot of research of it. I was playing one of the guy's best friends who didn't know, and that he was killing all these people, and he got away with it forever, even with a blood sample. And they lost because they had the DNA of the killer, and they lost the blood sample. They just didn't put much stock in it. The police, so they're just like whatever. Yeah, they just kind of tossed it.
This cannot be.
And it didn't come back till 6 years later, and then the blood sample came back, and that's what got him 6 years later. So they got him, and she knew what was going to happen, so she flipped on the husband, said that she was beaten, and that the husband made her do it, and all of this shit. And she ended up getting, she copped a plea for like 12 or 15 years or something like that, right? They go to trial. She turns on him, and he gets life or death or whatever the fuck it was. 4 days after the trial, they found that they had taped all of the murders, and they found him up in the attic of the garage. And nothing they can do.
Fully, not only complicit, but definitely.
And she's out. So.
Right. And you can't try her again.
Nope.
But they found that she was definitely a huge part of it, and didn't seem in any way forced. No. And when I was doing my homework, like, research on the characters and all of that shit, like, you're right as far as looks and how you speak and all that other shit. If it doesn't look like you're collecting, doll hair and fucking toenails and Ziploc bags, you can get away with murder for a lot longer time. Mm-hmm. You should put up a picture of that guy. Of Bundy?
Yes. Bundy and...
and the Barbie and Ken.
And the Barbie and Ken guy. That way the audience can see him on the video show. Again, if you're not subscribed, go to YouTube and iTunes. The video show is live and direct in your face. But you can see what we're talking about where you're like, all right, cool. Bundy, I get it. I get it on Bundy.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Oh, yeah.
The Canadians weren't as good looking as Bundy. I'll say that. And
clearly not as smart because he got away with it for so much longer.
I don't know. They got a lot. They were on the run for a long time. So who knows? Yeah. Who knows? But either way, Homegirl's out. She's living her life somewhere in the world. Life. Weird.
Probably doing it again.
Yeah.
Somewhere.
Strange, right?
In plain sight.
I wonder what happens. Do they follow you for the rest of your life? Does somebody follow you around in a car? You know, like, is that girl going to kill again? What's the story?
I'm sure she's on some kind of probation. But no.
Strange.
No. They could just do it again.
Did I tell you about the castle I went to? In Kansas City?
No.
Yeah. Did I tell you this?
Oh, you didn't. Not really. I mean, you sent me like a picture.
Oh, I didn't tell you. I didn't tell you. Yeah. So one of our sponsors, we kind of touched on this briefly in the sports show, but I wanted to chat with you about this because this shit got wild for a weird reason. Anybody ever say anything out to you and you just turn and it's so unexpected? You're like, oh, you're that person. This happened to me where I was just like, oh, what the fuck? Like, and it was so sly and direct. And I'll tell you what happened. So one of our sponsors for Drinking Bros, we get to Kansas City. And they were best friends with somebody who was super rich and all that shit. So we ended up staying in a fucking castle, like a real live goddamn castle. Yeah. And it had like Camelot etched in on the sides and like artists had painted on the ceiling and like a wine cellar. And we ended up drinking this wine that was like $17,000 a bottle, like the ridiculous shit that you would expect that comes along with it. They were great people, had a great time, and it was awesome. But it was one of those dinner parties where you're like, after a few glasses of this amazing wine, right? You can see people's real colors where they're like, oh, all right, I feel comfortable around you. You've said some weird shit tonight, Ross. I'm going to say some weird shit to you. So I went to go pour another glass of wine from the bar. And the woman's husband, because they were all around 60. They were all around 60 years old, everybody at this party. But they were rich and all of their kids were grown up and out of the house. So they were just like, fuck it, we smoke weed. Anybody have vape pens? That type of shit where you're just like, all right, sweet. They're down. They're on the level, and it's exactly how you would expect it to be. You know, very set in their ways or whatever when it comes to political shit. But like real life shit, they don't really care all that much. And I went to get a glass of wine, and the guy looks at me and he goes, I said something. I was like, "Man, this is great, and thanks for having us." And man, you believe this? Like, you know, all of this shit, like, it's pretty amazing, isn't it? And he goes, yeah, if you believe we're here. Oh. And I was like, what? And he goes,
I wouldn't.
Whoa, hang on. He goes, be able to. Well, you know, it feels like a simulated world, doesn't it?
Oh, okay.
You know I got down on that conversation.
And I would have walked straight away off into the wine cellar and grabbed another bottle.
Oh, man. And I'd
make it 20,000.
I entertained that shit. So I was just like, I go, oh. I was like,
hello.
I go, are you trying to musk up? And he knew the interview with Elon Musk and Rogan where he was talking about this. Elon Musk was talking about the simulated world. I was like, you trying to musk up on me? And he goes, I'm just saying it's a possibility. It's a possibility. You know what the next question was?
What?
You ever tried DMT?
Oh, there you go. There you go. So he's a Rogan. He's a Rogan
No. He was not actually. So he did not listen to. He didn't know anything about podcasts. So didn't know anything about what I do or anything else or whatever. He just thought over the course of this dinner party and stuff, he was like, "You're just really funny and interesting, and you just seem to know a lot about everything. Like a little bit about a lot of things." And I was like, "Well, we do these shows 6 days a week, so I read." The newspapers and all of this shit. I don't think it makes me smarter than anybody else. I just read more probably than the average Joe every morning. And he goes, what's your thoughts on that? And I told him, I was like, wow, I listen to Rogan, and I was like, he he goes down those rabbit holes of DMT and sim worlds and all that other shit. Yeah. And he goes, man, you got to try it, And I was like, yeah. The DMT users are becoming the new CBD oils. Hey, have you tried CBD?
Yeah.
Have you tried CBD? It'll really change your life where you're just like, all right, cool.
So good.
Yeah. There was an NFL player yesterday, too, who was going to be at the Super Bowl. And he was just like, man, if I had CBD oil, I would have played another 3 to 4 years. No, you wouldn't have. You really wouldn't have. I've had it. It's not the end all be all.
Like the actual oil? Or do you've had
the gummy bears, or I've had all of it. So we've been pitched it, like I said, I think I said this a few shows back. I've been pitched it as a sponsor for a few different shows, and they've sent it all to me.
Right.
And most of the days I'm stuck writing in a chair or whatever. So I've tried it. When I'm sitting in chairs or writing or whatever, I think it's legal in almost every state now.
Yeah, CBD, I think.
Yeah. I don't know, man. I just didn't really feel that different than
Right.
that type of shit. But like DMT is a whole nother world.
No, yeah, that's not a casual.
No.
That's a whole like shaman type situation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I was like, what made you do it? What was the driving force for you? And it was just like, kids were grown. I was married to somebody for like 30 years or something like that. And she died. And it was like, I just wanted to kind of get a glimpse into what might have happened or what's going on and all that shit. And I was like, fuck. And I had a normal conversation with this dude. He was great.
Right.
He was a lovely human being.
Right.
But I was surprised that it went there. I was like, oh.
Wow.
All right.
Okay.
And I had like
listen, I'm not necessarily into that conversation, but I think why I'm so brain dead right now is that I have been engaged in a lot of small talk for a couple days with people.
Why?
Only small talk, because sometimes when you're only hanging out with kids and then you kind of get a couple interactions with other parents or other moms when the kids are around. It's really very surface and small talky. Like there's no level, hey, you getting any dick or what? You know what I mean? It's very, how's your marriage? It's very like, yeah, how they sleeping? Oh, well, he got up 2 times. Yeah. And I know it's just so hard. And so, my God, like I need medium talk. So for example, in that castle, I'm sure there was a lot of kind of small talky. People don't really know each other that well. Then someone comes and is like, hey, SimWorld. And although that isn't something I would love to talk about, I appreciate the taking of the conversation to a medium talk level. Do you know what I'm saying? No matter what it is. Because then I can get fucking weird with you, right? Because I feel like I'm just like in a fucking box, dude, of like small talk. And it's like taking over my life and my brain.
Yeah,
you need to be able to stretch those weird mind muscles in order to like have meaningful, good conversation. And when you're around kids or moms only that you don't know that well, you will turn into a zombie. So watch out. Okay.
It's a nice warning from Jabes.
Well, that's what happened. That's what's happened to me today, I think.
Okay. Yeah, me personally, like at that castle party I was telling you about.
Yeah.
It was all people who were about 60. Like we were the youngest ones there, obviously.
Sure.
And it was enjoyable. There was no kids or anything.
Right, that helps.
But
older.
2 different types of people where it was just like, man, that type of money. I would never buy a castle or do any of that shit, even if I had that type of money.
Right.
Just because it took us about an hour to get through the house, just on a tour. Yeah. And it was just like, man, if it takes me an hour to get through your house, how many rooms are you really living in? And the owners had said, in a polite way, they were like, look, we're selling this. Like, it was nice to raise a family here and all this other stuff. And
they
blah, blah, blah.
raised a family in the castle.
And that's what I thought too. I was just
Where are those douchebags?
I was like, what happened to your kids? What are they doing now? But anyways, to each his own. It was an amazing life. Yeah, it was an amazing life. But this conversation that I had with all these people who were in their 60s, like it was a really fascinating night. And if you would have told me that going in, because I didn't know, I showed up kind of not knowing who was going to be at this dinner party. If you'd have told me that going in, I'd have been like, what the fuck is this? You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Like, what the fuck? What am I doing here?
I think there is probably a freedom to, your kids being grown, having a certain amount of money.
There was
retired.
They had like, especially how rich they were. They were some of the freest people ever. And,
yeah.
And so we had some of the most bizarre conversations because
they didn't need to keep,
they don't need to impress you. They don't need to do anything.
They don't need to like in our neighborhood, like you don't need to be like, I don't want to be the fucking weird one.
Right.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm already kind of the weird one. So I don't want to, alienate everyone.
Yeah.
So I kind of do the small talk. Someone's going to I'm going to be found out. And that's maybe the fear.
That you don't want the small talk of like, hey,
I'm going to be found out that I'm not actually the way that I'm portraying myself as. Because some of the ladies have a glimpse. They're like, oh, you do some show? No, they don't watch. Right?
Yeah,
they're not listening. Or else that would just be it. Jig is up.
Yeah.
But
I find it weird too because we have like 1.6 million listeners.
Yeah, but none of them are our friends.
No, none.
There's actually like a couple girls maybe 2 girls from book club that are like hip to it and know about podcasts and listen.
Sure.
But out of all the people and women and moms and everything, no one listens. So I am able to fake it a little bit. Do you know what I mean? Until the show gets big enough that I can't hide anymore. And even at the kids like Christian school, right? It's like, don't talk about what we do too much.
Sure.
A little bit,
I don't say anything.
Podcast, producer.
Yeah.
We'll leave it at that.
Right.
No. You don't need to watch. You don't need to check us out. You don't need to Google, right? I put Patterson. Yep, not Wiseman. Not
showing
Wiseman.
up.
No, can't find her anywhere. Can't find her anywhere.
Up.
So yeah, it really does mess with your mind. You don't have to do it, which is why you're able to stay weird and spry. You don't have to drop into where in your life would you have to drop into a like faking, trying to like fit into
small talk
community conversation? Nowhere.
No.
You have no problem being like, hey, fuck you, motherfucker.
Yeah, I don't care.
No matter where you go.
No, anywhere. I just don't care. You're right.
So it's really hard on the mind to kind of switch back and forth between your fake persona to keep the keep the neighbors happy and into your real
life, yeah.
Real life that you can't really show all the time. And I can't wait to be at a level popularity-wise, money-wise, that I don't have to worry about that anymore, and I can really just say all the weird shit
that you want to, yeah.
Comes to my mind that I want to talk about.
Yeah,
have you ever wiped with the toilet paper roll? Do you know what I mean? Like that's what exactly. I want to say to these gals.
Yeah, when you're out.
We've wiped with it, but we've had to before, huh?
When you're out, right? Yeah.
When you're out.
Yeah. Just the bare.
That's what I mean. When that's all that's left,
yeah,
just the cardboard roll.
Sure.
It has to be done sometimes,
right?
Yeah. And then let that flow into a weird conversation.
Gotcha. You can't do that now.
I can't do that.
Okay.
I would definitely get a weird look and like a weird nervous smile, laugh. And then they would slowly like find their
Kawhi
way.
Leonard laugh.
Yeah. No. And then they would find their way away from me. Oh, the kid. Oh, and the classic move of like, I hear my kid. I better go check on him. And then that's how you get out of either the small talk conversation, or in my case, the weird conversation that I've started with you.
Okay. Okay.
That's what's happening.
All right. Look, I'm glad you told us.
Yeah, just like to be honest with you guys. about what's going on with me.
Little chicken soup for the soul. Sure. If you will. Yeah. Let's get to the revolutionary figure of the day, Jabes, shall we?
We shall.
Oof, I've been waiting for this one. Just waiting for this one. It's Michael Jackson.
Why?
Great question.
No.
He has a documentary out that is airing at Sundance. You're actually going to like this, Jabes. It is called Leaving Neverland.
Okay.
And it is the other side of it, of these kids at Neverland and all of that shit.
This is going to be an R. Kelly.
So it's a super controversial Michael Jackson documentary. The mom's already come out and said, how dare you and fuck you and all this other shit. And I guess HBO is involved because she said she specifically mentioned HBO and said, we did one of the highest rated concerts for you of all time on your network and got viewers, and now you're going to fuck him like this and death and all this other stuff. They're worried about people protesting, which is odd to me.
Yeah, because people protest everything. They're protesting the R. Kelly thing. They're people.
Why? So they've stepped up security, police, and all this shit in Sundance, and they're worried about it. Look, it's screening inside the Egyptian movie theater there. So I've been to Sundance twice. I've had a movie screen in the Egyptian. That's the biggest theater there is on Sundance. So they saved that for the biggest movies. So obviously they think this thing is going to be a fucking juggernaut. I'm excited to see this. So I think it's 2 hours and 36 minutes. Holy shit.
I can't wait.
Wow.
I won't be in the minority anymore.
Law enforcement says tensions are higher for this movie than anything I've ever seen before at Sundance. We're not going to be preventing anybody from exercising their constitutional rights, but we're not going to allow this to get out of hand in any way. Says the police officers. Leaving Neverland. Man. Yeah, so it's going to air on HBO in the spring, and it's going to focus on Wade Robson. That was one of the first people to come out and say I got molested by Michael Jackson. He was that he had that dance show on MTV.
Yes.
Kind of good looking dude.
Yep.
He was, I think he did one of the Step Up movies. I think he was in like part 2 or something like that after Channing Tatum.
Yeah.
I think he was the lead in that or something, but so it's covers, and this other kid, James Safechuck. Weird last name. I don't believe I've ever heard of a Safechuck or the Safechuck families.
Yeah,
but,
what origin is that?
Don't know. Sounds super white.
But yeah, it's definitely some form of super white.
So it documents when they were the ages of 7 and 10. And the reason why people are bitching about this is over a decade ago, Robson said under oath that Jackson never acted inappropriately with him in an unsuccessful lawsuit he declared. And in fact, that Jackson was a serial sexual predator who assaulted him repeatedly for years. I can say this, man. Having gone through a million fucking lawsuits and all this shit for movies and all of this shit in particular, if you're Wade Robson and you file a lawsuit like this against Michael Jackson's family has so much fucking money. They will bury you in legal fees that you will, and make you sign shit like this to get out of it of like, hey, man, we're all done with this shit. And
everyone will be on Michael Jackson's side, which they were. So I'm very excited / interested. I don't know
that's why it's going to
happen, but I would love for people to finally open.
And if it's an HBO doc, it's good.
It's going to be great. There's going to be so much legitimacy to it. I would love it. I would love it if people, you don't have to stop listening to him, but I would love it for people to be like, yeah, I do need to separate or admit that you've been separating the two for years.
Yeah.
And that you don't, how can you just not believe?
So what they're worried about is Michael Jackson fans who are going to show up and protest and all this other shit. And they were saying, it's extremely painful because this is the 10th year anniversary, the 10-year anniversary of his death.
It's perfect.
Michael Jackson.
It's perfect.
And
we've given you many years.
The reason why I give him the revolutionary figure of the day is not only is he still relevant, I mean, for real.
Right.
He died 10 years ago. 10 fucking years ago, and they're doing a documentary about...
How old was he when he died?
50, I believe.
Okay, so we've given you 60 years. 60 years.
Yeah.
I think it's time.
Time to
tell the truth.
Oh, about him? Yeah.
Even if it's going to taint his name, we've given you 60 years.
Yeah.
And there's going to be plenty of people that A, aren't going to believe it, and B, will continue on the way that we've always continued on.
Unbelievably fascinated with this. And I can't wait for this to come out, actually. This story's been building for the last couple weeks, but Sundance is now here and all that shit. So this is going down. I'm curious what the reviews are going to be, and then obviously we're watching this fucker opening night on HBO.
Show. I don't know how we're going to do it.
Just fucking buy HBO.
Okay.
We have, by the way, we have Dish.
I've been waiting it out, and I guess I'm just going to have to buy it.
I don't think they're coming back to Dish.
I guess not.
So we had it on Dish.
Yeah.
I don't think they're coming back. I think everybody's going to split off now, and that's going to be it.
Yeah.
That's the way it's going. Yeah, it's fine. Live sports is the only thing they're holding on to. Their dirty fucking little claws.
Totally. They would not let it go.
Again, with Michael Jackson, the reason this is so fascinating, 10 years he's been dead. Now they're coming out with a doc about what he did in Neverland, which was 10 years before that. Because he wasn't living in Neverland when he died.
No.
He was renting Christian's house, the owner of Ed Hardy. He was renting that house in Beverly Hills. That's where he ended up dying in. Christian Audogier,
right,
who is also passed away as well. But he did 7-10 split, and he was living in that house, and it was something like some crazy rent of like $50,000 a month or something like that. And that's where he died. I think Neverland might have been closed 10 years before that.
Yeah, because all the shit that came out.
Right. But this is a long time. I mean, a long time. And now you're going back to this. The other part of this is we have obviously young children. We have a 4-year-old who likes to watch YouTube and all that stuff. And that, kids love Michael Jackson. When Michael Jackson comes on, they love, because there's no swearing in it, obviously. So it's like, there's still a part of you as a parent where you're like, man, should they be listening to this or not? Like, what do you do?
I let him listen to it, but
weird, right?
For me, it feels weird. It's always weird for me when I say things like that, and people, it's definitely in the minority to be like, yeah, but to be
Really?
Yeah, but he touched kids and stuff. Well, we don't. I mean, you don't.
Yeah.
With that whole thing, the kids' parents wanted money, and there's always this like, well, we don't know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so it's definitely in the minority to be like, he was a fucking, he was a weirdo. Like, people worship him to such ends that he's still getting away with it. And that's how he got away with it back then. And that's how he's going to continue to get away with it, is everyone just loves his music so much, thought he was so revolutionary, which he was at the time, I guess, that people just will not hear it. I don't know what it's going to take.
He's probably the greatest pop star of all time.
Sure. I don't agree with that. And maybe that's why I'm able to have
really have a bunch of hatred. Yeah.
Well, have always been able to see it for what it was, because I wasn't blinded by the fact that I loved him so much, because I didn't. So if you were not a Michael Jackson fan, you were able to see all this weird shit and be like, dude, this shit is fucking weird. Right. Hello?
Right.
And everyone's like, he's amazing. And it's just like a cult. It's like you're the only one in the cult that's like, hey guys, I'm going to go.
It's true. Yeah,
because this feels really weird, and we're all just like cool with this, sleeping with kids and all of this. Proven sleeping with kids. And we're just saying, yeah, but don't get me started.
The fascinating part to me about what's going on in today's world is with these documentaries now, you're digging up stories that people have forgotten, and now people are fired up. And that's...
Well, you feel
pun
bad.
intended, by the way, with Fire Festival.
Sure.
That episode we did about Fire Fest blew up. Everybody started watching that documentary. I'm not saying it was obviously totally because of us.
No, people were loving it.
People
anyway,
were loving it at the time when we did the show, and we loved it. And I talked about the guy who was prepared to suck dick.
He's the best.
But like people, there's a new hatred for Ja Rule that is going on. That's super fucking deep right now. And that lady, the woman who got used her life savings of $50,000 to help feed these people and all this shit at that concert. There's a GoFundMe that raised $142,000. She got all the money and is paid back. And it was, this was a few years ago. The R. Kelly doc is out now, where police
are going to his house now, raiding his house now,
and they weren't like, this story was dead for years. Where it was just like, all right, R. Kelly was just living out in the world somewhere, just being fucking R. Kelly, and nobody said shit.
Videos of him peeing on kids.
Yeah. And
that we all knew about. And I think part of it may be that we feel bad, right? Because you go back to that time and you think about the way that you thought of it. Like I have vivid memories of being like, yeah, but I mean, what was it really? Like it was sort of a blip in the...
You know what did it for me? I'll tell you exactly what did it for me on the R. Kelly thing was the Chappelle sketch.
Yes.
When he talked about pissing all over. To me, when you add humor to something, then you kind of treat it like a joke.
Yep.
Much like that, there was that Tammy Faye Baker doc and the Jim Baker doc last night, where SNL did so many sketches of that, them crying and all of this shit. It almost made them like sympathetic comedic figures because you were like,
it just made it not a big deal. And maybe that's the Michael Jackson thing too, where there were so many people joking about it and kind of his, if you did impersonations, it was always him with the kid.
Remember when SNL was good with Amy Poehler? She played Michael Jackson hiding up in that tree.
Yeah.
Hey, it's Michael Jackson.
Right. And like, and kind of poking fun at the kids
stuff.
Yeah. And that definitely diffuses it. And I think as a nation, as a people, we kind of feel bad. We feel bad because things have changed so much. And there are some bad things that have happened with Me Too, whatever. But we've changed so much that you think, holy shit. Like we really just did not look into anything that we didn't want to know about, right?
Yeah.
We kind of joked, like nervously laughed it off.
The biggest thing is who we can take down. Who's the biggest person we can take down? Les Moonves I thought was untouchable. I would have said that guy. I would have said Weinstein was untouchable.
But that wasn't Moonves wasn't anyone that I knew of in any way that I let go. Do you know what I mean? And that's the biggest thing now that's starting to creep into our minds is like, we knew about it, we let it go. So it's the thing with the Harvey Weinstein, with the Kevin Spacey a little bit, but I didn't know it was like young boys.
Yeah.
That kind of thing. Michael Jackson, R. Kelly, where you go like, I knew about it. And so that feeling that you have of like, I knew about it and I kind of just, meh.
Yeah.
That feels bad. And that's what we're kind of revisiting. That is freaking me out a little bit. But I'm happy to say that I've always condemned Michael.
I looked at the Michael Jackson thing as this. These parents were taking their kids up to the house for sleepovers and just leaving them. That always felt weird to me. And I just...
Not weird enough.
I put it on the parents. I did at the time. I always kind of put it on the parents where I was just like... as well, where it's just like, man, why did you take... Because you wanted to be famous or you wanted to be... Like, I don't understand why you took your fucking kids up there.
Because they loved him so much. Because people liked him so much that they just trusted him. And they just went along with whatever he said.
That's weird to me.
And it's cult-like, dude.
Yeah.
There's a documentary on Netflix called Abducted in Plain Sight. You will never yell at a documentary more. You will never be more frustrated at a documentary as far as that kind of thing.
Okay.
Where you do put it on the parents and you just see them over and over like... You're screaming. It's almost like telling, someone in a horror film telling them like, don't go in the door, right? So that's what you're doing with this documentary. It's not great. It's not a feel good, but maybe check it out and tell me what you think, because it is so frustrating. I've never been more frustrated.
Me, I have no problem with confrontation or talking to people. Like, if I see somebody weird around the area, I'll be like, hey, what the fuck is your deal?
I think now, there was always this thing in like the 70s where it's like, we didn't have, you knew the pedophile, right?
Right.
And you kind of let him be the pedophile, right? You just didn't go to that house. And it's kind of like a bit that a lot of people do. But back then it was like, oh, the pedo house. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
There wasn't people that were super charming in your community, like coaches, things that like, it just seemed like everybody was a child molester at one point. Do you know now?
Oh, now to you.
Now.
Gotcha.
Whereas before, and so that's why the parents were able to be duped so much, is because if they weren't the pedophile down the street, you just thought, oh, he's just a normal person. There's no way that he could. We know better now.
Right.
Right?
Yeah.
We are skeptical of anyone that wants to spend time with children. Anyone.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, of course.
Are you like, someone wants to be a teacher, you're like, but why? Right? Back then they didn't. And that's kind of the joke of like, why so many people, it feels like everyone got molested, right? Everyone has a molested story. Because I don't either, but I also didn't like grow up in the 70s, but where we just like let the kids roam, and oh, this guy wants to watch the kids. Cool. I know him. He goes to my church.
Great van.
Yes.
It's got a really nice van.
Great van. Comfy in the back. Kind of thing. So now we're definitely, I'm sure the rates have gone way down, because we're all very, very skeptical of anyone that wants to spend time alone with kids.
Okay.
So,
all right.
I don't know why I'm talking about that. Michael Jackson.
Michael Jackson. Which is a great way to end the show, James. Play that Weezer song if you can find it.
Oh God, how perfect!
Fucking
No Scrubs.
No Scrubs by TLC cover.
Can't wait.
If you can get through it on the drive, wherever you are, to and fro work, wherever you're listening to this, good on you.
Yeah, I'm just going to throw it.
A better man than I. For Jessie Wiseman, a.k.a. The Jables, I am Ross Patterson. This is The Revolution. Good night, everyone.
Good night.